This conference will now be recorded.
Data types. I think we almost completed all the data types except the character. Okay, so we'll talk about the character and then we will move on into operators. Okay, so let me finish off the data type, the pending data type operators. Okay, so operators is will be our today's topic. But before the operators, I want to finish the character data type. Okay. So the character data type. So basically the character data type is the representation of single character. Okay, so representation of single character. So we will try to look at the string later on. So character data type. So character data type. So whenever I'm talking about character data type, so character data type is going to be the type of the data that represent single characters. Okay, so represent, so which will represent single characters. Okay, so represent single characters. So what basically we are trying to do up here? So we are trying to represent the single characters. So what is the data type? The data type is the character data type, and from the Unicode values. Okay, so from the Unicode chart, I should say. Okay, from the Unicode chart. So why I'm saying Unicode chart is because so basically whenever we are talking about the character support in Java, so we try to look at a Unicode chart. Okay, so what is that Unicode chart? So let me make you understand. So there is a chat. Okay, so SSE Java Unicode. Okay, so SSE Java Unicode. If you are looking at yeah, so this is the basic chart where you have all the characters that are supported by Java. Okay, so the first 0 to 127 characters are the basic Latin characters. Okay, so the basic Latin characters, as you can see over here. So these are all the characters. So zeroth character null. So this is start of the heading. Okay, so these are all the characters of the bell. Okay, so the backspace. Okay, so here. So these are all the characters. Okay, so the meaningful characters will start from 32. Okay, so the meaningful characters are starting from 32. So where you can observe that, so 32 is space, exclamation mark, and all the symbols, and you have 48, 49, where 48 is 0, 49 is 1. Okay, so character 1 basically. Okay, so in order to remember these things, what I can suggest you is you can easily remember this number. So 0 to 9 starting from 48 to 57. Okay, so 0 to 9 starting from, okay, so for example 0 to 9. Okay, so 0 to 9 are represented from where? Are represented from 48 to 57. Okay, so 48 to 57. So 0 to 8, 48 to 57. And now you can see capital A. Capital A is starting at 65 and it is ending at 90. Okay, so capital A to Z. So, and one more thing that I wanted to tell you here is, so zeroth character it is. Okay, character always is put under the quotes. Character always is put under the quotes, and capital A is also a character which is also put under the quotes. Okay, so you are having these both put under the quotes, and what you observe here, so you observe that, so it is nothing but 65 to 90. Okay, so 65 to 90, so up to 90 here, and all the symbols it's very tough to remember. And capital, I mean small a is 97 and small z is going to be 122. 122. Okay, so 122. So if you are going for A here and you are going for Z over here, so this is going to be from 97 to 122. Okay, so 97 to 122. So these are the characters that we use in our daily programming, but it is not the end of the story. Okay, so the characters will start from 0. Okay, so 0. So 0 to 9, these are what? These are basically our basic character set. Okay, so our basic character set. So you have 0, 1, 2, and all. So 0, 1, 2, it will start and it will go on up to where? It will go on up to, so it will go on up to 65,500 and 65,000. So now if I am just going for the end of this, so here you can see you have Greek, Cyrillic, Armenian, Hebrew. Okay, so Devanagari, Bengali. So you can have a support for Telugu also. Okay, so like this, it will support 65,535 actually. So it is like two are reserved for the future. Okay, so it goes on up to where? It goes on up to 65,565. Okay, so 65,500 and 65,535. So what is the range actually? The range is going to be, so range is going to be what? So range is going to be 0 to 65,535. Okay, so the range is going to be 0 to 65,535. So that is what is the range. But technically speaking, the first character is null. Okay, so first character is null, as you can see, and the last character technically is nothing but what? So last character technically is nothing but this question mark. Okay, so this question mark. So this is technically speaking. So this is from null to this question mark. Okay, so numerically it is from 0. Okay, so numerically it is from 0. Okay, so it is from 0 numerically, which is nothing but null, and the last character is nothing but this. Okay, but numerically, so whenever you are giving some number, when you are giving some character or anything, it is technically converted into a number in the background, and it will be converted into binary. So basically that is what is the character data type for you. Okay, so character data type for you, so range will be this. Okay, and the default value will be, so default value will be actually uh, given as slash u000. Okay, so slash u000. So technically again you cannot see that default value. So you cannot see that default value. So not space of course, but you cannot see the default value because it is something like null itself. Okay, so something like null itself. So that is how you are looking at the things here. Okay, so okay, so what we are basically looking at, we are basically looking at the things of the character data type. So character data type, so you are looking at the range, which is ranging from 0 to 65535, so which is null to question mark, and this is going to be slash u 0000 and all. So this is all about the primitive data type. So string is like a class. Okay, so string is like a class. Okay, so we generally call it as a data type only, no problem, but it is a collection of uh, characters. Okay, so a collection of characters. So hello Java, something like that. Okay, so string is a class, so which is a collection of the characters. So we'll talk about the string later. So but all the primitive data types we have listed out. So always remember there are 8 primitive types. Okay, and what is the uh, wrapper class of the character? So wrapper class of the character is going to be character itself. Okay, so it's going to be character itself. So we will not be using any wrapper class right now. We'll be using it later on. So string class we will be learning it later. Okay, so now, so if I have to put up all the primitive types, so what are all the primitive types we have? So we have byte, okay, so we have short, so we have int, okay, so and we have float, okay, so we have float, and okay, so we'll finish up the integer category. So we have long, we have double, okay, so and then we have the char, okay, so the char, right? So it is nothing but char, so character data type, so it is represented as char, okay, so it is represented as char. Basically char is the keyword, char is the keyword, okay, so char, and then you have the boolean, okay, so you have the boolean. So these are the 8 primitive types, okay, so 8 primitive types. For each and every one of it we have the wrapper class also, okay, so we have the wrapper class also. So that's where we talk about the data types, okay, so these are all the this is all the information that we have on the data types, okay, right. So now, as I've told you, we now have a complete idea on how to use the data, okay, so now we have the complete idea on how to use the data. So how to use the data in the sense, using the data in the program, okay, so using the data in the program. So how we will use the data in the program? Using the data in the program. So now let's try and understand how we can use the data in the program. Now let's say I have the data type, okay, so always it should be under the class, right? So class followed by the class name, okay, so class followed by the class name, and under this, so you will have the data type, okay, so you will have the data type, so data type space, you will have the variable name, okay, so you'll have the variable name is equal to, you will have the value, okay, so you'll have the value. So what exactly we are looking at here? We are looking at the data type, variable name is equal to the value, so or you can say the value as literal also. So you can say the value as the literal one. So what we are talking about here? We are talking about the data. How we can use the data here? So we can use the data. Okay, so we can use the data by this combination. So data type variable name is equal to literal, is equal to literal. Okay, so data type follow space variable name is equal to literal. Okay, so this is the way that we are looking at how we can use the data type. Okay, so for now we will be using uh, the primitive types only. So later on we will be knowing about the other things. But why I told you about string? Because we have a main method. Okay, so we have a main method. So something like public static void main, under which we have something like string args, okay, so here you are looking at the string class, okay, so here you are looking at the string class. As we are looking at the string class here, so we are talking about the that string class also, okay, so here also you can put up the data. Here also you can put up the data, okay, data type variable name is equal to literal. So here also you can create the variables, here also you can create the variables, but whenever you want to create the variables, always remember those variables must have the data types and must have the literal, must have the literal, okay, so in this way you can work with the data, okay. So once we are done with working on the data, now it's time to talk about the operators. Okay, so we are going to talk about the operators in Java. Okay, so operators in Java. So whenever I'm talking about the operators here, So if I have to define an operator, so operators are the symbols. So what are operators here? Operators are the symbols that are used. Okay, so operators are the symbols that are used for performing. Okay, so performing the operations. Performing the operations on the data. Performing the operations on the data. Okay, so operators are the symbols that are used for performing the operations on the data. Okay, so we have arithmetic operators. Okay, so what we have here? So we have arithmetic operators. Okay, we have relational operators. So we have relational operators. So we have logical operators. So we have logical operators, and we have bitwise operators, and we have compound assignment operators, compound assignment operators, and we have uh, the operators such as some new operator and all. Okay, so let us uh, talk about that. So we have something like new. Okay, so new operator. Okay, so new operator and instance of operator. Okay, so these are all the some special operators. Okay, some special operators that we have. So we will talk about them later on. Okay, so let us not include them here. Otherwise, we'll talk about them later. So we will talk about these five operators now. Okay, and one more thing very important is increment and decrement operators. Okay, so increment and decrement operators. So these are very important operators. Okay, so increment and decrement operators, right? So now, first we will start with the arithmetic operators. So to talk about the arithmetic operators, I need to go for uh, Eclipse. So we are going to work with our programming in Eclipse only. So arithmetic operators are the operators that perform. So operators that perform. Okay. So operators that operators that perform mathematical calculations. So that perform mathematical. Okay. So that perform mathematical calculations. So operators that perform the mathematical calculations. Okay. So we have plus, minus. Okay. So multiplication. Okay. So division and modulus. Okay, so division and modulus. Okay, so division and modulus. So these are the operators that we have uh, on the arithmetic operators. Okay, so on the arithmetic operators. So whenever I am talking about arithmetic operators, so we need to talk about plus, minus, multiplication, division, and modulus. Okay, so what modulus will give is it will give you the remainder, and this will give you the quotient. Okay, so those things you have to remember. Okay, so let's directly jump into our program so that we can work with it. Okay, so I want to create a new project. Okay, so create a new project. So let me go for the normal Java perspective. So create a Java project. So let me name the project as FSJ at 7 p.m. Okay, so FSJ underscore 7 p.m. rather. So let's say okay, going to create all this. So yeah, 17 is already adjusted. So next, say finish. Okay. So now this is my project. So let me create a new class. Okay. So the class I will name it as operators. So operators. Okay. So you, you can work it on Visual Studio also, no problem. But I always feel comfortable in this. So that's why I just try to do it on this. So let me increase the font a bit. Okay, so let me increase the text font. So let me edit it and let me put it like, yeah, 16 would be good. Okay, right. So public class operators. So, so under this, we will try to have something like public static void main. I'll tell you what is public static void main and all later. So string args. So under this, so we will try to have. So under this, we will try to have our data type. Okay. So now let's say I will take int x1 is equal to 5 and int x2 is equal to 3. Okay. So x1 is equal to 5, x2 is equal to 3. Now what I'll do is I'll just say system.out.println. So system.out.println is for printing the output. Okay. So println, I'll just use println. So it is going to print me, print the output. Okay. So print the output on the console. Okay. So system.out.println x1, x2. Okay. So we are going for basic three operations x1 minus x2, x1 into x3, and then I will go for, okay, so I will go for running this. Uh, I'll just say control F11. So I'm going to get the output down. Okay, so these are the basic operations. So basic operation, okay, so I'll put the console on the right. Yeah, so that would be better. So here we are going for the program outputs 8, 12, and 50. So these are pretty straightforward operations. Okay, so x1 plus x2, x1 minus x2, x1 into x3, and all. So now we need to talk about the division operator. Okay, so what does the division operator does? Okay, so division operator. So if you are dividing this, so generally, what we will think of, so we will think of something like, so if you are going for 5 by 3, okay, so if you are going for 5 by 3, so you might be thinking that the answer will be 3 ones 3, and here you are saying 20, so 1.6, 3618 again. So you might be thinking the answer will be somewhere around 1.667 and all. Okay, but for your surprise, the answer is going to be 1. So why the answer is going to be 1? Okay, so the reason is dividing integer by integer. Okay, so dividing integer by integer gives you integer only. Okay, so dividing integer by integer gives you what? Gives you integer only. So if we are dividing an integer by integer, so the answer also is integer only. Okay, so the answer also is integer only. So you are dividing an integer by integer and you are getting the answer as integer only. So this is how you are taking the things into consideration. So what we are doing at the end of the day, you are dividing two integers and your answer is integer. Now how it happens basically. So basically when you are looking at 5 by 3, so this is integer part and this is also integer part. And you get the answer also as integer part only. Okay. So in 1.667 and all, so if you observe, so it is 1.667. So this is the fractional part. So fractional part won't be taking the effect. Okay. So fractional part won't be taking the effect. So that is where you lose the fractional part. Okay. So that is where you lose the fractional part. So you are only left over with the integer part. So that is what happens when you are looking at it. Okay. So that's what happens. Okay. Now what is the solution for this? Okay. So what happens here? You are dividing an integer by integer. You are getting an integer. So what is the solution? So solution is, okay, so what is the solution here? Solution is convert convert into two float or double. Convert into two float or double. Okay, so you can convert that into two float or double. So how the conversion will take place? Okay, so you can convert the numerator, denominator, or both. Okay, so how you can convert? So just you can say something like float. Okay, so something like float. So what would be your answer? So your answer would be 1.66. Okay. So what you got as the answer now? So you got the answer as 1.66 something. Okay. And then same thing I can do like this also. So I can just take this float from here. Okay. And I can put it over here. Okay. So I can put it over here. So simply if you can run this, so again the answer is going to be 1.66. Okay, means you can convert the numerator or denominator or both. Okay, so you can convert the numerator or denominator or both. Okay, so both of them also you can convert. So exactly what will happen, I'll tell you. So the answer would be the same. So the answer would be the same. So what you observe here, so the answer is the same. So now technically what is happening in the background? So technically speaking, if you are converting, so technically what is happening is, so 5, when you are converting into float, so it will become 5.0. Okay, so 5.0. So 3 you are anyhow not converting, so this will become 3 only. So the answer would be the float based value. Okay, same thing is happening with this also. 5 by 3.0. Okay, so same thing is happening with 5 by 3, 5 by 5.0 by 3.0. So anyway, you are getting the answer as this only. Okay, so this is the way that you are looking at the conversion. So this is you are looking at the conversion. So whenever you are looking at the conversion, so this is what it is. Okay, so same thing happens when you are doing with double also. Okay, so even double will give you more accurate answers. So that is the only major difference when you are using a double. Suppose if you are using a double here, so if you are using a double here, so if you are using a double here, if you are using a double here, okay, one float and one double also you can use, not a problem at all. So more accurate answer you will get. That's it. Okay, so you are getting more accurate answer. So that's the only major difference you find out. Okay, so that's the only major difference you find out whenever you are talking about uh, this particular values. Okay, so this is what is called conversion. This is what is called conversion. So the problem is when you are dividing two integers, you are getting an integer. So when you are trying to work with that, so you are converting. So either you are converting float into float or double. Either you are converting in numerator or denominator or both Okay. Right. So now coming to the reminder. So what does a reminder tell you? So reminder will tell you that I will bring up the remaining value. Now for example, if I am dividing 5 by 3, okay, if I am dividing 5 by 3, so 3 ones 3, so it will give me the 2 value. Okay, so when you are saying 5 mod 3, the answer is going to be 2. Okay, at the same time, when you are saying 3 by 5, so the answer is going to be 300, so it is going to be 5. Okay, so in this way, you are going to get the reminders result. So now, for example, if I am saying system.out.println x1 mod x2, okay, x1 mod x2. So what is the answer literally? So the answer is going to be 2. So the answer is going to be 2. So whenever I am talking about uh, the reverse of it. Okay, so now for example, if I'm saying x2 mod x1, so x2 mod x1, so simply if I'm writing, I am going to get something like 3. Okay, so I'm going to get something like 3. So what exactly these are? These are going to be the arithmetic operations. So these are going to be the arithmetic operations. So whenever I'm talking about arithmetic operators, so you need to take these things into consideration. Okay. So you need to take up these things into consideration. So whenever we are looking at which operators, these are arithmetic operators. So whenever I'm talking about arithmetic, so you are looking at the mathematical things. Okay, so you are looking at the mathematical things. Okay, right. So when I'm saying something like arithmetic, these are the things. Okay. So what I will do is I'll just directly jump to compound because compound are something similar to. Okay, so compound are something similar to the arithmetic, but the only change I'll tell you. Okay, so here compound assignment operators, combination of, so that you can work it out easily. Okay, so combination of arithmetic and combination of arithmetic and assignment operator. So combination of arithmetic and assignment operators. Okay, so operator. So what is that arithmetic and assignment? I tell you. So it is like plus equal to, minus equal to, okay, so and into equal to, divide equal to, and modulus equal to. Okay, only one example I'll show you, so other examples you can work it out. Now for example, if I am saying uh, so a plus equal to b, so let the value of a is 5 and the value of b is 2. If I'm saying a plus equal to b, this will become a is equal to a plus b. Okay, so it will become what? A is equal to a plus b. So this is going to be 5 plus 2, which is going to be 7. So now what is the value of a? Actually the value of a was 5. The value of b is 2. Now when you are saying a is equal to 5 plus 2, so the value of a has become 7. Now at the same time, if I am saying b is minus equal to a, okay, b minus equal to a, so b is equal to b minus a. So what is b value here? B value is 2, and what is a value over here? A value is going to be minus 7. I mean 7. So it is going to be minus 5. So b value will become minus 5. Now at the same time, for example, if I'm saying a plus equal to 3, so the meaning is a is equal to a plus 3. So what is a now? So a is going to be 7. 7 plus 3 is going to be 10. So what is a value? So a value is going to be 10. So like this, you can work in a sequence. You can work in a sequence. So a plus equal to b, b minus equal to a, and a plus equal to 3. Okay, so don't put any numeric value on the left side. So always put numeric value on the right only. Okay, so these are the things that you need to uh, understand in the compound assignment. So this will be a task to you. So just complete the task. Okay. So and we will talk about the remaining operators in our next session. Okay. So hopefully both of you understood. So if you have any doubts, any questions, you can raise it right now. Yeah. Any doubts, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.